so nervous. I am. These are big statements. Like these are. I just don't take this shit lightly, and that's why I've sat on it for so long, and like not shared this because these are big statements. These are big claims, and I'm not doing this for likes and views and clout and marketing. That's not that's not me. That's not me. But I have to trust myself. I have to trust myself, and I have to come home to my own knowing, and I have to speak up and just and share what I'm called to share and trust myself. I have to fucking trust myself. I have to fucking trust myself. Hey, I'm Lexi, and I am a modern day shaman. But I want to be very clear what I mean when I say it. Very clear. I'm not a professional shaman. I'm not a master shaman. I'm not an elder. I'm an apprentice. And I have spent the last 3 years in initiation to get to this point, to step fully into apprenticeship. And yeah. And I don't even know like what my role, what me fully being in my shamanism looks like yet. I really don't. Everything that I have done thus far has been just intuitively and spiritually led, and my intuition has never steered me wrong. It's been 3 years of just running on blind faith. So let me kind of share a little bit about the last 3 years with you so you can understand where I'm coming from, right? So I'm in my 4th year. Let's back it up. Let the wind speak, I'll be right back. It's a very windy day, and I don't talk over the wind. So I'm deeply, deeply rooted into earth. Like, okay, let me start by saying this. I didn't grow up in around spirituality at all. I didn't grow up with spiritual language or an awareness of it or anything like that. I didn't grow up around witchcraft or spirituality. I didn't even really grow up around religion. I mean, like, yes, both of my parents would definitely claim that they're Christians, and like my father prays before every meal and like Bibles and crosses and such. But like we never went to church. My only experience with church really was for a couple of years whenever I was a kid, going to a Pentecostal church with my cousins, and I went to a Pentecostal church camp. So that was really my only experiences inside of a religion in this life. And so I didn't grow up with any of the knowledge, right, of spirituality, religion, or witchcraft, which to me, spirituality, witchcraft, and science are 3 sides of the same triangle. You can't have one without the other. All paths are valid. That's truly how I feel. Like, that's why even through my whole exploration of different spiritual modalities, practices, religions, witchcraft, all these things, I've never been able to like lock into one and claim one, because I find truth in all paths. I really do. I think that we all came here to have our own individual experience, and I think that that's kind of really the beauty of it, is that there's all of these different options, and it's whichever one is true for you is the one that you came here to experience in this life. It's just very beautiful. Like, really, the fluidity and the freedom of it is really beautiful once you can get out of like your small human mind and your small human heart and go into your high heart and high mind. Then you're like, oh wow, there's like so many options, and you get to choose, right? Um, so I didn't grow up in spirituality. I didn't grow up in religion. I didn't at all. And I experienced a lot of chaos and trauma and abuse as a kid, and I ran away at 16, and I was so bitter and I was so resentful towards God. I was definitely an atheist. And then over time I kind of just came in and out of I've always just been super open-minded. So it was like, I don't know, I was like, maybe there is something there, I just don't know what it is, you know? Then in like probably like 2021, I was on a path of uh, self-help, right? I was trying to be a better woman for the man I was with. So in doing so, it kind of opened me up to this path. It led me to a path of like spiritual awareness. I was put onto this podcast called It's Fucking Spiritual by Rachel Gibler, and she like opened up a whole new world for me because she gave me all of this language that I had never heard before, and I was like, what? Okay, like, so I kind of like started deep diving and rabbit holing, right, on the spiritual path. That was all at the same time that I went through spiritual death. Dark Night of the Soul was my first year. It was Dark Night of the Soul, ego death, reality as I knew it started to crumble. The identity I had created out of survival mode started to crumble. My mental health was deteriorating. There was drugs and alcohol involved. It was pure chaos. And I had always clung so tightly to control because I had been a single mom, you know, running a household, raising 2 daughters on my own. I had to clung so tightly to control for such a long time. And it was like everything that kind of like had been built off of this false sense of security or reality or identity all started to crumble, and I fucking lost everything I loved. I lost myself. I was shattered into a million fucking pieces, dude. Like, I didn't know which way was up. I spiraled into the deepest, darkest pit of depression I had ever experienced, and I had experienced depression and anxiety since I was 14 years old, and this was the darkest pit I had ever experienced. Like, I truly describe that year as like my Persephone descent, and it's like you make a home in the underworld, right? Like, I just set up shop there. Like, I lived there. And so there comes this point when you get to the bottom of the rock bottom of the rock bottom, right? And it's painful there. It's misery. It's fucking like the moment my brain comes online, before my eyes even crack open, there's this voice in my head telling me that I should end my life. The world would be a better place without me. I truly believed that, and I contemplated unaliving myself every single day, and I attempted it a couple of times, and I was there. I was at the moment where I was like, this won't be the attempt, this will be the end. And in those final fucking moments of being like, this is it, my spirit called me home, called me back to life. I don't know, it was this small, still voice in me that said, try one more time. And that felt so fucking ridiculous, it was like insulting, because I felt like all I had ever been doing was trying and trying and trying and failing miserably. I had always been trying to be loved, to be accepted, to fit in, to find my place, to just get along like everyone else, and you know, fit somewhere. So all I'd ever done was try. And all I'd ever done was fail, but my spirit said, try one more time. And I did. And something miraculous happened.